The Quibbler is often remembered as the Wizarding World's joke newspaper, a publication filled with strange creatures, bizarre conspiracies, and stories that most witches and wizards immediately dismissed. But while many of its claims were certainly questionable, the Quibbler also had a surprising habit of occasionally being right. So today, we are taking a look at some of the most famous creatures and conspiracies featured in the Quibbler to answer one simple question. Just how crazy was it really? One of the most famous creatures associated with the Quibbler are Nargles. According to Luna Lovegood, Nargles are tiny mischievous creatures responsible for stealing possessions and causing everyday annoyances. Luna also believed they commonly infest mistletoe, which is why she often treated it with suspicion. While Nargles are never confirmed to exist anywhere in the series, they remain one of the most recognizable creatures ever featured in the Quibbler. Wrackspurts are invisible creatures said to float through a person's ears. Their presence supposedly causes confusion, distraction, and difficulty concentrating. Luna claimed that spectrospecs could be used to see Wrackspurts, allowing witches and wizards to identify when they were nearby. Like Nargles, no official wizarding source ever confirms their existence. Heliopaths are described as enormous fire spirits that race across the countryside, leaving destruction in their wake. Luna claimed the Ministry deliberately refused to acknowledge their existence despite reports of sightings. Very little information exists regarding how they can be tracked or repelled. If they are real, they would likely be among the most dangerous magical entities ever discussed in the Quibbler. The most famous creature ever associated with the Quibbler is undoubtedly the Crumple-Horned Snorkack. Xenophilius Lovegood spent years searching for evidence of the creature's existence and believed it inhabited parts of Sweden. In fact, he even displayed what he believed to be a Snorkack horn inside his home. However, Hermione Granger eventually identified the horn as something else entirely, an horn, one of the most dangerous magical substances in the wizarding world. Wizarding history remembers Wilfred Elphick as the first wizard known to survive being gored by an Erumpent, which actually happens to be mentioned on this chocolate frog card from my 100 chocolate frog cards video. If you're interested in learning more about the cards, there will be a link at the end of the video. The horn later explodes inside the Lovegood home after being struck by a spell, meaning Xenophilius may have not been displaying proof of a Crumple-Horned Snorkack at all. He may have been displaying a magical explosive. If you are enjoying the video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing for more Harry Potter analysis. It helps support the channel and lets me know you want to see more videos like this one. Of course, strange creatures were only half of what made the Quibbler famous, because alongside its unusual wildlife, the magazine also became known for publishing some truly unbelievable theories. One issue famously suggested that Sirius Black was not an escaped mass murderer at all. Instead, he was actually Stubby Boardman, the lead singer of the wizarding band the Hobgoblins. According to the article, the Ministry had fabricated the entire criminal story to hide his true identity. While entertaining, this theory appears to have been exactly as credible as it sounds. One of the Quibbler's strangest conspiracies claimed that Minister for Magic Cornelius Fudge was conducting a secret campaign to seize control of Gringotts Wizarding Bank. According to the article, Fudge was allegedly trying to gain power over the bank by violently eliminating goblins who stood in his way. The Quibbler even claimed Fudge had earned the nickname Goblin-Crusher. The supposed methods were absurdly brutal. including drowning goblins, poisoning them, and even baking them into pies. The claims were never proven, but they show exactly why the Quibbler had such a strange reputation. It mixed political suspicion with wild, almost impossible accusations. Despite its reputation, the Quibbler was occasionally right. It gave Harry Potter a platform to tell the truth about Voldemort's return when much of the wizarding world refused to believe him. It continued to question Ministry narratives, and while much of its content remained strange and controversial, the Quibbler was often willing to print stories others were afraid to touch. Ironically, the publication most people laughed at sometimes came closer to the truth than the wizarding world's most respected newspaper. The Quibbler published plenty of nonsense. Sirius Black was almost certainly not Stubby Boardman. The Crumple-Horned Snorkack may not exist, and many of its conspiracies were difficult to take seriously. But when the wizarding world needed someone willing to challenge the official story, the Quibbler was often one of the only publications willing to do it. Which raises an interesting question. Was the Quibbler really the least trustworthy newspaper in the wizarding world? Or was it simply the one willing to print what others were afraid to say? Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy this content, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below.